Hello to my Aquarius. This is Queen Amura coming to you with your reading for the next 7 days in preparation for this full harvest moon, this full corn moon that we have coming up. On the 7th, we have a full moon that's coming up in Aries. Aries rules first house, right? You all rule 11th house, right? So 11th house is the house of friendships, alliances, these kind of things, right? So a couple of weeks ago, well, I would say a week ago, or not that long ago, I did a reading about reparations, right? And so let me tell you real quickly how this is going to come back to you, because people automatically think about whatever it triggers, whatever it triggers for people. But let me help you with something real quick. Help you with this. I want you all to pull your birth chart. You don't need your time of birth, by the way, right? You can schedule your birth chart readings with me if you like. If you want to, you can. If not, it's up to you. All my information is on my website, queenamunra.com. So if you're new to my channel, welcome. If you're coming back, welcome back. Welcome back. All right. So there was someone, so you are rule 11th house. 11th house is your house of friendship and community, right? So the 11th house is where we find our place within the wider group through friendships and social networks of all kinds. And so your planets here suggest the unique role that you play as a member of the team, right? So a person within your friendship group, and I'm going to tell you exactly who it was and who actually helped you to expose them, okay? So a person within your friendship group, it doesn't really matter how long ago it was. It would have been maybe within the past 11 years. So think about who was in your friendship group within the past 11 years, rather. And so think about that. Find out what your zodiac sign is in your 11th house, okay? Because that is the person, that is the energy that was used to block your money within your friendship group, okay? So if within the past 11 years, if in your friendship group, let's say you were looking for new friends, right? You all are known for your friendliness, right? You all are really no respecter of person. But let's say within the last 11 years, you said, you know what? Hey, you were invited somewhere. You say, hey, why not? I'm looking for friends. I'm in a phase of my life. I want new friends in my life. And I'm talking to men and women Aquarius. So 11 is going to be the magic number here, right? Because fortune is actually spinning in your favor. Okay, so I really need you all to pay attention. Because remember, my assignment is to go all the way down to the lowest of frequency. Lowest of frequency, which some people may see it as being negative, but somebody has been conditioned, your so-called what you thought was a friend has been conditioned to leave behind the people who they felt, okay, they're not an asset to society, right? Everybody who is still breathing, you still have a purpose, all of these wonderful things. But somebody in your friendship group within the last 11 years was chosen to end you, okay? To force you into a rebirth, right? So somebody was playing God in your life. Somebody was playing God in your life. And it may just be now when you're looking at this reading, it may click for you. OMG, that was the energy that was assigned to you to end you, right? But see, people had a first impression of you. So I want you to pull your birth chart. You don't need your time of birth, okay? Just your day of birth and your location of birth, okay? So you're not going to put a whole lot of overthinking and focus on them. Whatever your zodiac sign is in your 11th house is the person that was used to end you. Whether it was end you by, and you all know that you move from your heart, right? So your love language. So that was chosen to end you and someone you love very, very deep. It could be your spouse. It could be your kids. Or if you have one child, something was supposed to take you up out of here, to distract you so much, to have you overthinking so much. And remember, time is money, that you would lose everything. You would lose your marriage. You would lose your home. You would lose everything, right? So that is the person. Right? That is the zodiac sign. It could have been several of them that were charged to. So if it would have been, let's say, let's say for instance, I'll just go with the first zodiac sign. Let's say for instance, you were married to an Aries, right? So that person was on, and it could have been on an assignment, but it would have to be low vibrational, right? We're not speaking negatively of all Aries. Let me just be crystal clear. This person would have been impulsive, aggressive, and impatient. If it was an Aries, if it's a high vibrating Aries, they would have exposed that, right? Just being in the presence of a high vibrating Aries would have exposed, okay, this energy is on an assignment, right? So that high vibrating Aries would have been courageous, energetic, and pioneering. Then you'd have been like, nah, all Aries aren't the same. You wouldn't even overthought it. You'd been like, nah, I don't feel safe around this particular Aries because this one here is impulsive, aggressive, and impatient. And I'm used to being around Aries that are courageous, energetic, and pioneering. That would have immediately exposed what they were on an assignment, right? From their lower selves. Somebody had a first impression of you and it was a lasting impression, right? So whatever the zodiac sign is in your 11th house is the energy. It would have been a low vibrating one, because I don't want y'all, when I hear people say they lump all Aquarius in one basket, that's ridiculous. Of course you can't be the representative of all Aquarius. So it would have been that zodiac sign, right? A low vibration of them, right? So if, let's say for instance, the second zodiac sign is Taurus, right? So this is the energy that would have blocked your fortune, your money, let's say, because Taurus rules second house. Second house is about material possessions, right? Second house is all about possessions, money, finances, right? Possessions, money, finances, right? So the energy in the sign in that house would have been the energy at a high vibration to expose the energy who in your 11th house is responsible for holding on to a fortune for you, right? So let me give you an example of what a fortune would be like. Let's say, for instance, you have one child, right? Let's say that's your only child, right? And so somebody would have come between you and that energy with something so overwhelming that would have caused you to start, they don't know what to believe, you don't know what to believe, you'd have been sitting in your mind overthinking this, bills would have been running up, you'd have been out here emotionally spending money, just doing everything to go broke. Next thing you know, guess what? You're broke, you're being put out, you're looking for, you still just don't have any answers for anything, right? So somebody feels like you are resistant to change, that you are possessive, that you are stubborn, but it's really them projecting something onto you. So Taurus rules second house, right? It doesn't necessarily have to be a Taurus, but somebody, because they rule material possessions, they rule that house. This is how someone was stopping your money. This is how somebody was stopping your money. They would have had to go to somebody that was closest to your heart. Okay, this is why you need to come out of your head. This is the beauty of both of your ruling planets right now being retrograde. Okay, Aquarius. So keep that in mind. The person, your 11th house, the sign in your 11th house is the energy who is being stubborn, possessive, and resistant to change. You're going to have to let them have a tower moment. You're going to have to completely let them have a tower moment. Okay, because it's going to end them. Because they've been withholding your fortune, they've been withholding your money, your fortune, all of those things. See, what happens is that because you all are no respecter of person, Aquarius, a lot of Aquarius, and I can't say all of them, because as soon as I say the word reparations, that'll throw some Aquarius off, and they like, okay, I'm unsubscribing, I don't want to hear that, we don't want to hear about, because they automatically will go to another place, which I'm showing compassion towards them, because it can be very triggering to hear that, right? But remember, my assignment is to go down to the lowest frequency and be a lighthouse and to shine on people like, okay, you ready to go back up to a higher frequency yet? Ready to go up back to it? You're not dead yet. You still got a book in you. You still got a song in you. You still got this in you. You still got that in you. But somebody has taken it upon themselves. Your zodiac sign in your 11th house has taken it upon themselves to withhold something from you because they are projecting something onto you that they really are. They're basically saying you're lazy, you just want things to come to you, so on and so forth. And so you got to know also the ruling planets of these zodiac signs too. And So let's say, for instance, it is a Taurus that's doing it to you. Taurus is a divine feminine sign. It doesn't matter whether it's a man or woman, but it's ruled by a feminine planet. Venus, the goddess of love, pleasure, art, music, aesthetics, right? So somebody, but the dark side of Venus is that it can be vain, vengeful, and green with envy. So someone is vain, vengeful, green with envy towards you, who feel like it's their duty and responsibility to block you. So they would have told someone that you love, right, that you are a part of some kind of a sex ring or some kind of something that would have really, they don't know what to believe, and they would have brought a whole lot of people on board for that, right? But they are now being exposed, and they're being exposed through your dreams. Some of you all are wondering, why in the world are you having dreams about people that you thought were your friends, and they really were not your friends, because they were on an assignment to overwhelm you so much, and possibly you and someone else so much, that you would be so overthinking things that you would find, you know how people have emotional eating, like when they stressed out and they're hangry, right? You'd be so overwhelmed with your thoughts that you just go hop off in your spaceship and you would just check out, leaving your bills unattended, your house unattended, your body unattended, all of these things unattended. But it's really them that's a part of a sex ring, right? So I've already said a prayer of for trafficking spirits to be removed from your space, right? Because somebody wanted to make money off of you and someone else, but they would have had to be able to consider you and someone else up out of here. Okay, so a lot of Aquarians are you all are humanitarians by default. So that's the first thing. Find out what your zodiac sign is in your 11th house, and your zodiac sign in it's somebody low vibrational of that zodiac sign within a friendship circle within the past 11 years is the one that was assigned to end you because of fortune, right? Because of some kind of fortune that's attached to you, having to do with Venus, the goddess of love, pleasure, art, music, aesthetics. So you could be an artist, you could love music, you could be a musician, you could be some kind of interior decorator, something about you. Physically, people love the way that you look. Your energy is very attractive to a lot of different people. This is not about who looks the best and who doesn't look the best. This is about very attractive. But you came up against somebody that you thought was a friend who is very vain, vengeful, and green with envy. This is a destiny swap. This is your reparations. They were assigned to enslave you in some way, shape, form, or fashion through your mind by spreading horrible rumors about you, okay? And to keep you overthinking, to keep a loved one or somebody close to you overthinking, because they wanted to do a destiny swap. In other words, they wanted to be a part of an organization or be a part of a group, a secret society. They wanted to be a part of a secret society. I've already sent prayers out to my collective community to protect you from trafficking spirits, to protect you from people who astral project you from all secret societies, any energies that are trying to harm you in any way, shape, form, or fashion. I've already said a prayer over that. I intentionally did not say exactly what I said on camera, because I'm protecting the collective community. Okay? And so the enemy doesn't know what needs to be interceded on your behalf. I don't need to know from you directly. A lot of people come under the guise of prayer. They want to know exactly what's going on in your life, so they can tell you, so they can now know your business. And so they don't need to know that. So it's protecting this collective community, okay? So that's what you're going to do. Somebody energy that you may be attracted to in some way, shape, form, or fashion in your second house is the one that exposed them. That's the one that exposed them. So this is my awakening oil, right? That's right, my awakening oil. So let's get into your reading. Let's get right into your reading. So hopefully this is crystal clear, because when I take it down to the lowest of frequency, if I didn't answer the call in my life, and I'd be worried about numbers and, you know, who was going to unsubscribe and stuff like that. I know some of my readings can be very, very triggering, but it's because I don't believe in leaving people behind. As long as you are still breathing, breath, you got breath in your lungs. I don't care if you're 99 years old. My assignment is not to leave you behind. It's like, come on, get up, get up, get up, get up. You still have a book and you, a song and you, something in you that you can learn how to attract wealth to you. But in that, the reason why this energy is so bitter and so angry with you, Aquarius, is because you're learning how to be a gatekeeper of yourself, right? You're learning how to be a gatekeeper of self instead of having all these handlers around you. Imagine being a magnet for wealth. You have a wealth of looks, a wealth of gifts, a wealth of charisma, a wealth of everything that people want from you. And this is not to boost anybody's ego, right? And people saying, oh, that person is lazy. Everything just comes to them. They just know how to sing. They just sit in front of a piano and just know how to play. You know, they pick up a flute and all of a sudden it just comes, everything just comes natural to them. But okay, we're going to be their karma. No, they're actually receiving karma themselves. Right? They are receiving karma themselves in their 11th house because of them trying to block you. And it's going to be bad. The karma is going to be, like I said, that's why I always tell people, just walk away from those energies, even in a dream state. If you felt like, okay, you were going to let them come in, because a lot of these energies are bullying energies. They feel like they know what's better for you than what you know for yourselves, Aquarius. Okay? So your leading card is an Aquarius, right? Find out what your zodiac sign is in your 11th house. Aquarius rules 11th house. It is that zodiac sign within the last 11 years that you gave access to what was going on in your life. You talked to them over the phone. You met them in person. Y'all talked. Y'all gone maybe possibly on trips together. All kinds of stuff. That was the energy that was assigned to you. That was the energy. And that energy looks like you. That energy may be like, if you're a man, if you're a woman, they're a woman. Whatever your skin color is, this is a copycat energy. They were sent into your life to copy everything and then eliminate you by any means necessary, planning your mental health, right? Because they knew you were going to be thinking, overthinking, like, why this energy in particular? Because somebody feels like, because they haven't learned how to master being a gatekeeper of their own wealth, they think that you don't need it. They said, okay, they don't need it. They get everything else. But because you were born in Aquarius, you're going to speak about some things. They just sit back and just let everything into their space, right? So rebirth is going to be key here. Rebirth is going to be key here. But somebody in your second house is the energy that exposed them, okay? And it could be coming in through a dream. And it can be overwhelming for you, right? Get them out of your energetic field, out of your energetic space, okay? So this 7 days for you all, remember we're in the full moon phase. If you're watching this video on Sunday, we are in the full moon phase. Full moon is on the 7th. So things like divination, cleansing, and charging your tools under the moonlight. This is where you can put your gemstones and crystals outside at night. You can make your protective amulets. You can cleanse and charge your crystals in the moonlight. You can also make moon water for some people. You can harvest herbs at this time because it's easier for them to dry, right? So the full moon is a time for protection. This is why you need to get these energies out of your space. Your no's need to be no. Somebody wants back in your energetic space because their moon magic did not work. Okay, y'all got it? Their moon magic did not work, right? It didn't work. They thought you were lazy because things were coming to you, so they decided to create something that you were part of a sex ring and told a loved one that's closest to you that you were part of a sex ring, and you know good and well you are not, right? They did that to make a loved one a part of a sex ring so they can make a fortune off of them through you by having your mind all twisted around. They decided to take a gamble on that. So somebody else decided to take a gamble and tap into your energy, whoever you are, to let you know to expose them. To expose them. It is your zodiac sign in your 11th house. The one that exposed them is the zodiac sign in your 2nd house. Got it? Right? So the This spirit is going to shed illusions, embracing higher truth for you all, aligning with divine purpose. This reading here offers soul-centered insight, energetic renewal, and higher guidance for September 6th through the 13th, right? So let's do it. Okay, it's going to unfold your path for you, right? So your starting card here is a star card. This star card appears, spirit confirms you're in a cycle of renewal, divine alignment, and healing. So you are rediscovering your purpose and inner light. In other words, somebody almost feels like you were gifted this gift, right, that they wish that they had. So let's say, for instance, you're a singer, right, and they feel like, okay, if you don't want the gift, I wish I had that gift. What's wrong with you? I would have done that. You know how people would say, oh, I would have been done such and such if I had that gift. You know, if let's say you're a singer, oh, I would have been here and there. They even said it to you. So constantly, let's say if you're a singer or you're a musician or whatever, you were constantly put in situations of competing, right, to see how you would respond, right? But remember, if you know what we talk about in terms of wealth, you were aligned with someone who was constantly trying to get you to compete, right? Constantly, because maybe that's their zodiac sign in their 11th house. So this is the secret here. Maybe that's their zodiac sign in the 11th house, but things come to you so easily, including exposing them. So you're gatekeeping your energy by keeping them away from you, because guess what? They so busy playing God in your life, they didn't even realize. Now they're so overwhelmed by your gifts, they can't help. They want to be connected to you now. They want you to tell them their future. Okay, so what do you see for me in the future? What do you see? Overwhelmed, because you're not overwhelmed by your gifts. And so for in the past, that would have been a blockage for you. That would have been a challenge for you. Uncertainty and illusions may cloud your clarity. Spirit says what feels unclear is an initiation into trust. Your intuition is your compass. Your intuition told you around whenever you met this energy within the 11-year time span, whoever that sign is in your 11th house. And again, you can get your birth chart readings or regular readings with me. Just go to my website, queenamonra.com. But that energy is so overwhelmed now by your gifts, they cannot believe how gifted and talented you are, and how things really, really do come to you, and how wealthy you're becoming. All you had to do was eliminate them from your life. You don't have to wish any harm on anybody. That's why I always tell y'all, it's no non-violent on this channel. We're not talking about fist fighting and all that crazy low vibrating mess. We're talking about all you had to do was just go with source's flow with your dreams. Let source show you in your dreams. And as we get closer and closer to this full corn moon in Aries rules first house, it's going to show how impulsive, how aggressive, and how impatient this energy is, right? They were so impatient with you, they will even bum rush your dreams. Right? It's like a person who just shows up at your door, but in your dream state, and just walks right on in. They don't even ask for permission to come in. They just come in because they think that, you know, they're with their dream. You wouldn't even be shocked. Some of you all wouldn't even be shocked or surprised. Even just listening to this reading, you'd be like, oh my God, I always knew it was that person. I just never knew. So now it's time to make sure you're doing a cord cutting ceremony. Completely remove, but I've already prayed over you all, but you all, for just extra measure, that energy won't have any more access to you, because you already decided in your mind. This energy is very crafty, like the devil. So they're not going to come to you in an aggressive way, right? They're not going to come. But what's about to happen with them now is because of their impulsive behavior, because they were stubborn, possessive, resistant to change. They're getting ready to make some kind of impulsive move, aggressive move, and also impatient. They first will come to you in a dream state because they're having a tower moment. Everything is crumbling around them. They told everybody, oh, this person is crazy. If I had those dreams, if I had those gifts that Aquarius has, oh my God, I would have done this. I would have done. Nobody knows what they would have done, and they don't know what you're still processing Ancestrally, they don't know what you're still processing. So you don't have to give them any energy whatsoever. They're having a tower moment, but you also are having a total recall. You and somebody that they were trying to destiny swap with, it could have been you and your child. If you don't have any kids, it could have been you and the spouse. If you have several kids, it could have been one in particular that would have been more susceptible to believing, anything. Maybe they were just very naive, that maybe you could have been, because this, like I said, the enemy is very crafty. So let's say, for instance, if they said that you were in a sex ring, let's say, for instance, you had partners in the past, right? They always into illusions and confusions. They're good at convincing people of something. But if you know good and well you were not a part of a sex ring, or maybe you dated a couple of people in the past, maybe you were married several times, whatever the case may be, this energy is so good at illusions and confusion, with people and the stuff that they're into, right? Maybe they have a job where they travel a lot, whatever kind of job they have, but they're going to be forced to purge. They're being forced to purge in this rebirth. They wanted your life so bad, whoever these energies are, they wanted your life so bad that they were willing to end you and somebody that you love closest to you, because again, we're talking about heart chakra here, that they have now ended themselves. They ended themselves. If they ended their career, they ended anything that would have come to them, because they didn't appreciate. They did, just like they told people that you didn't appreciate your gifts. They didn't appreciate them. They didn't appreciate the body they were born in, the day that they were born on, the power of their ruling planet or ruling luminary. They did not appreciate it, right? But here you are operating in your north node, some of you are, and your gifts are so overwhelming. They want access back to your space. So don't be surprised if you saw them first in a dream state that you may get a call out of the blue. A text message, somebody showing up at your door, because they're obsessed now. They've been obsessed with you in a very unhealthy way, but they're obsessed now. So this would have been a type of an energy that you let get close to you. And let's say you were dating somebody or whatever, they would have been the energy, and you send them a picture of the person. Like you're thinking, okay, well, I'm gonna send a picture of this person to this. I want you to, you know how sometimes friends will say, okay, I want you to know who I went out with. I want you to know, where we went to dinner or where we went to that, just to protect yourself, right? This energy would have used that to say that you were part of a sex ring, as if they were a handler or like a pimp or something like that for you. If you're a woman, it was another woman. If you're a man, it's another man that did it. Okay? Doesn't really matter what your race is, your race, ethnicity, culture, whatever. Their skin color is the same as yours, because that would have thrown you completely off, right? This energy, like I said, they're all about illusions and confusions, right? And so something that they did something that they did to a loved one drove them to drink. So if you talk to a loved one, I want to say like maybe 9 months ago or something like that, and you talk to them and they sounded like they were inebriated or something was wrong with them, they were probably sitting amongst a group of energies that was overwhelming them with a whole bunch of information, telling lies about you, right? You weren't there, right, to defend yourself. So they would have talked to somebody else to overwhelm you, made them cry, overwhelm, all the whole 9 yards. So like when I tell you you're cutting them off, that's you showing them no mercy. They have no more access to you ever again. None, in the spiritual or in the physical realm. Make it crystal clear. We're not friends. I thought you were my friend, but I see that you were not. You would rather see me dead and gone in a grave for a fortune than come back and get me and tell me the secret to success, right? As long as you all are breathing, you have a purpose. You have a purpose, right? So yeah, so they're having a tower moment right now. They are now having a total recall and a total disruption. So past influences, recent disruption has shaken false foundations, and spirit affirms what was lost has cleared the space for truth and transformation. They wanted you to transform into them, right? Wanted you to transform into them. That's why, like I said before, you thinking everybody's your friend, you thinking you looking up to people in the whole 9 yards, and they secretly want your life. So source is saying to you, here we have conscious focus is the sun. So you are seeking illumination and freedom, and spirit says your joy is sacred. Let it be the way. through the fog of confusion. They have been exposed, and them going through a tower moment has been exposed. Even in your dream, you may see yourself standing above them, right? Because at one point, that's the destiny swap. At one point in time, you saw yourself as less than them and lower than them in a group, in a friendship group. Source is showing you in physical that Source has placed you in a higher ranking than them because of what they did. They refused to listen to what Source told them to do. They were impulsive in their behavior, and now they're having to pay for it. They're having to pay for it, right? And it's two of them. They were in a karmic relationship, and they felt like, hey, we can swap our lives for. So if it was you and your kids, or if you were a single mom or single dad and kids, they would have said, okay, we're going to swap our lives for their lives. They don't want their gifts and talents, then we'll just take them, right? We'll take them, right? Right? And make a fortune out of it. Cut them off. Because now a total disruption has happened. This karmic couple, whoever they are, they could be two women. They don't necessarily have to be in a sexual relationship. They were a part of a sex ring, though. These two women are no longer friends. They're confused as to all of this. If it was two men, they're no longer friends because they wanted to swap your lives and your kids' lives for the gifts and talents that you all have for theirs. All right? They felt like they wanted everything to come easy. So they'll be like basically telling everybody, oh yeah, we're still in the circle of friends, and you know, and then I know this person and I know that person. Anything to make money off of you. It's just, like I said, just transactional for these energy. These two friends, these people you thought were friends, and they're not. So you being in hermit mode is where light came on for you. This is subconscious energy. So deep within, your soul seeks understanding. Spirit invites you into quiet reflection. Answers will emerge in stillness. Okay, so hopefully this video is sharing how your goodness, putting all this good energy out into the universe, being you are rule 11th house, has actually exposed a lot of things about you. Is that you put in so much good energy out to the universe bank that it's coming back to you with interest. It's coming back to you with interest because you do not want to be in a circle of friends like that. You do not want to be in a circle of friends like that. And so them being impulsive and taking some kind of action to end you and somebody that's closest to your heart, whoever the energy is that's closest to your heart is the one that they thought, okay, if we take that energy away from them, then that's what it's going to end. That's how it's going to end them. It's going to end them because they're going to be sitting around overthinking what happened. Something could have felt like a sucker punch to you for a while. After a while, like, why is my child all of a sudden acting a certain kind of way? Why is all of a sudden my spouse is acting a certain kind of way? Why all of a sudden a favorite sister or brother is acting a certain way? It's because you had somebody who was acting as an agent of darkness. And again, me being in my assignment, taking it all the way down to the lowest frequency is helping you to reclaim all of that, but they have to be cut off. You're going to have to dead the situation. There is no phone call, no text message, hey, can we hook up for lunch, dinner, none of that, because they have been secretly watching you the entire time. So if you're on social media, they secretly watching if you're on YouTube, they secretly watching your YouTube channel. You don't even need to be paranoid. I just said it for you. You don't even need to be paranoid. If you got a storefront somewhere where you got a bakery or whatever, they've been secretly sending people into that to try to find out, okay, how your sales were going, but secretly putting comments that, okay, things haven't been going well. End the situation, right? What you and somebody could have in common is death, right? And so something about your gifts are so freaking overwhelming. It's not even fun. Some people can't even believe just how on point your gifts. I don't know what your gifts are. You could have clairvoyance, claircognizance, clairsentience, clairaudience, whatever it is so overwhelming for people. It's so triggering and so overwhelming. But what's most triggering and what's most overwhelming is how no matter how many times people have tried to ruin your money, your second house, your money, your possessions, your finances, right? Second house is a house of personal income, financial resources, reflecting our sense of material security. What we seek to possess here shows a movable property. Notions of value, cost, worth belongs to this house, right? No matter how much these energies have tried to make you feel worthless. Second house is also about worth and value. Try to make you feel worthless. I'm telling you all, stop putting people above you because they make more money, because they have higher levels of degrees than you. They are no respecter of person. Get these energies out of your circle, and guess what? Watch how your wealth starts flowing into you. You can have respect for people, but to really start, these energies wrote you off. They literally wrote you off. And guess what you found within your hermit mode? A light came on for you. Guess what? What was the purpose of me even ever wanting to be a part of a circle of energy that writes people off? And then, dooms them to hell, basically. Takes them down all the way to hell and say, okay, that's the forgotten crew. That's the left behind. They're part of a sect. We'll just use them to make money off of them. What they look like. Are they physically attractive? Are they this and that? We'll just put them in a sex ring. They're the bottom of the barrel. We'll just leave them at the bottom of the barrel. And that's what was done to you. And somebody in your second house exposed them. And they would have exposed you through a dream. Daydream, night dream. But somebody in your second house exposed them. And just so we're crystal clear, somebody that's not in your family. So nobody in your family exposed them. Your family was still looking up to these energies. So, oh my God, I can't believe, they were in such circle. They didn't take advantage of this. They didn't take advantage. This person who exposed them is not a family member. So just so we're crystal clear. So this right here with the Ace of Cups here is a new wave of emotional or spiritual renewal flows in. Spirit shows love, peace, or new connection, bringing healing and energy for you all. And so this Magician card, for you all, you are the creator of your reality. As Spirit affirms, your thoughts and words are spells. Align them with your higher intention. See, what these energies fail to realize, Aquarius, and this is where your reparations comes in, right? Is that this right here, this planet right here is a traditional planet, right? Somebody, and this is past life. Somebody from their family who died is almost just like rolling over in their grave, like just for real, like, and obviously that's a term, right? Like an idiom, like, being on cloud nine, right? But somebody in their family who transitioned took a gamble on you, because basically said, hold on, if I got these people in my family that are wasting their resources after all of the sacrifices that we made in our family, for some of them to be doctors, for some of them to be attorneys, for some of them to be pilots, for some of them to be how dare they do that? That's not even how they were raised. And how dare you turn your nose up at somebody who is trying to find their way? Basically, their ancestors are the one that's kicking their behind. It's their ancestors that's kicking their behind, that saw something in you, Aquarius, and I'm quite sure you met their ancestor before they transitioned. So their assignment, just in the spiritual realm, was to help go down, take you to a lower frequency and say, I see greatness in you, Aquarius. I see that you can do it. Let me get all hands on deck to try to help you so that we can all be a part, so we can all ascend higher together, right? But now what they've done, they're so stubborn and so possessive and so resistant to change, they have to have a tower moment. In other words, they have to have a big slice of humble pie, but it's coming from their ancestors. Yeah, because you feel fulfilled. You feel fulfilled without them. If you happen to encounter these energies, have a dream or whatever about them in their dreams, I don't know how powerful, like some people in their dreams, they're such in a dream state. When you get to a point in a dream state where you can feel like, okay, you're almost having sort of an out-of-body experience where you can almost envisioning yourself ushering this person out of your door, through that portal, that front door, whatever door they came in, you're sending them out the same way they came in every part of their energy. They have no more access to you. You're not talking to them over the phone anymore. You're not friends anymore. No, none of that. In other words, they would give somebody of a different background more grace than they would give somebody who looks just like them. So, and like I said, because I take it down to a lower frequency, if they, like I said, they would give somebody who is the opposite of them more grace than they would give you. And their ancestor did not raise them that way. So, yeah, so the outcome is completion and expansion arrive. And so spirit confirms you're integrating lessons, closing karmic cycles, and stepping into a higher purpose, Aquarius. Okay? So, this week is sacred passage of awakening for you all. And spirit highlights renewal, trust, and emotional rebirth. Like I said, rebirth. These energies, these are the types of energies that y'all know. These types of energies, no matter what you do, they're gonna crap on it. No matter what you do good, they're gonna crap on it. These are people, some of the people in your family. So no matter how much you achieve in your family, some of the people in your family, you would have learned from a low vibrating energy in your family that you were really close with. So if this is a guy in your family, it would have been like a brother to you. If you're a woman, it would have been like a sister to you in your family. No matter what you accomplish, they always got to find something to dim it, right? To make you feel like, okay, less than, right? And so this energy in this friendship circle would like have been like a brother to you or like a sister to you, right? People would have asked, are y'all sisters or are y'all brothers? It's that energy. So it's that zodiac sign, so we can nail it, we can narrow it all the way down. And the very energies that they would have shown most grace to before they showed you grace is the very same energy that have also cut them off. So hopefully this is, crystal clear to you all. It's so clear, you're like, okay, I know exactly who it is. Everything in moderation. Everything for you in moderation. So your mental health is just as important as your physical health. Yeah. These people wanted to pretend like you were mentally unstable. Like something was wrong with you. But now your gifts are so overwhelming, it actually makes you a star. And people are like, oh my God. They cannot believe it. How quickly things come to you in the spiritual realm. So they failed at stealing your identity. But I just tell you, somebody really wanted to do a destiny swap. You are who they prayed for. You are who they prayed for. So somebody in their family that died, you came across them. You may not have known that they were related, but somebody in their family that died, this would have been an elder in their family that's like, I cannot believe my family out there acting a fool. They had the nerve to turn their nose up at you, Aquarius, when you were no respecter of person. You're nice, you're kind to everybody, you're compassionate. Every lie they told about you has been cracked wide open. So people can see the truth about you. So how dare they embarrass their whole bloodline? So you're not looking back. They embarrass their whole bloodline by turning their nose up at you. So take your time to decide. And so love up on yourselves more. Yeah. Dream even bigger. Somebody's not dreaming big enough. But that's the energy you need to stay as far away, because they about to, when I tell y'all, they having a big slice of humble pie. Everything that they wished on you is happening to them. The answers you seek are coming. So if they felt like you would lose a fortune, or they would take a fortune, or they would block a fortune from you, they're about to lose it all financially. They wanted to put you in survival mode. Guess what? They just put themselves in survival mode. They wanted the tower to fall on you. Guess what? The tower just fell on them. They messed up their whole friendship circle. They messed up their entire 11th house coming for you. They messed up their friendship and community because nobody trusts them anymore. They don't want to be connected to them anymore. They like, wait a minute, you did that to an Aquarius, and as nice as Aquarius is, as compassionate as Aquarius is, because it's your compassion that really saved you. As compassionate as Aquarius is, and they don't leave people behind, and you went into, this could be a person who's in the mental health field or somehow connected in some way, shape, form, or fashion. You mean to tell me you wanted to lie on their mental health records and say they was a part of a sex ring, had everybody looking at you like something was wrong with you mentally? They took a gamble on that. Y'all better not let these people back in your circle. Put yourselves first. Put yourselves first. It's time for you to schedule a vacation, whoever you are. So they are not happy without you because they're not happy with themselves, right? You made a very positive impact on them. I'm telling y'all, taking it down to the lower frequency, a lot of them started remembering all the hell their ancestors went through just for them to become doctors, attorneys, for them to become pilots, for them to become professionals and at higher ranking in wherever in the military. Their ancestors went through hell for them to get there. And I had to go all the way back down to that low frequency in my readings, because this is what I was called to do, and help you see these people, these energies are not better than you are. You had to show them, this is the power. You had to show them what their ancestors went through. And they had the audacity to call you lazy when some of you all had to go into jobs and had to constantly be, pushed down, just pushed all. And I'm talking to men and women, no matter what your race is, because there's slavery in every culture. Listen, you had to basically go down to, you had to show them what their ancestors went through. And now they're awakening to that, like, oh my God, I can't even believe. I'm telling y'all, they cannot even believe. They couldn't see it. They couldn't believe it that they couldn't see it. So this reading is even taking them on a journey to what their ancestors went through modern day with you. So yeah, you're not looking back. You're going after every single dream source planted in your spirit. And it's going to make you a fortune, because now you get it. Now you get it. All right. Anything else, source? Angel Raphael, the healer and protector of travelers, is with you wherever you go. If you're scheduling a vacation, you're safe. The tower has completely fallen on them. Every single person that's connected to them is basically because they told everybody, oh, they could take your life, they could take your kid's life, or whoever is closest to your heart. The tower has fallen on them. Everybody is exposing them. They don't trust them as far, I'm telling y'all, they don't trust them as far as they can see them at this point because of what they did. So the full moon is maybe a time for intuition and creativity, but also for workings associated with banishing and letting go. This full moon, we're in full moon phase, y'all. So go ahead and put your gemstones and crystals outside at night. Different than the blood moon, right? They're completely cut off. This is somebody who would have been like a sister or like a brother. Somebody from their bloodline had to expose and humiliate, basically had to expose them to you in some way, shape, form, or fashion. It's like their ancestors wanted their whole bloodline to see. I'm going to put somebody right in your face, you Aquarius, to show people in your humility and you being no respecter of person. It's like somebody had to put them right in your face, this wealthy group of energies, or they could have been wealthy in knowledge, education, whatever, to see exactly every single obstacle that came up against them to stop them. That's why some of y'all have been exhausted. I'm telling you, your energy level is about to come back. Once you make a decision, hey, I will never let those type of energies back in my space again, they do the most to try to stop and block you from, your inheritance, right? Those energies, like I said, everything that you desire is coming to you now. Everything. The money, the friendship circles, the this and that. But as soon as you get around people where you feel like you're simply being tolerated in a circle, somebody, if you start remembering in your mind, you're going to start remember the eye rolls, looking at you kind of funny, like you're not supposed to be within certain circles, knowing good and well their ancestors fought for them to be there. Somebody really thought that you were being lazy instead of helping you, instead of helping clearing the path like somebody did for them. That's why their ancestors, they didn't even know instinctively why they would help somebody out that looked different than you, the opposite of your skin color, whatever your skin color was, because that's who helped them. That's who helped their ancestors. That's why they couldn't even catch on to why they would not show somebody their same skin color the grace that they would show somebody an opposite skin color. And again, I'm talking to everybody. This is the World Wide Web, because their ancestors realized because all human beings need each other. That's why they couldn't. It couldn't click for them, but it's clicking now. It's clicking now. It's clicking now. So you're not looking back. So take your time to decide, like I said. In other words, whatever circle they were in, people want you in that circle. Right? That's why it's saying take your time to decide. That's up to you. That's entirely up to you. But you're protected wherever you go. You're divinely protected wherever you go. Yeah, so the full moon is a time of protection, healing, and guidance. It's a good time to get your tarot readings and any other forms of divination, oracle readings if that's what you want. So beauty, yeah. So do your mirror work. Some people saw you, they see you not only as just beautiful in your physical, whether you're a man or woman, people see you as attractive, they see you as a beautiful spirit, balanced out spirit. That's why you are who people prayed for. You just didn't know how to set boundaries before. You're just, everybody you take, it's like you said, basically you're just like, okay, you just didn't know how to set boundaries. You just didn't know how to set boundaries. Now you're setting boundaries and enforcing them, but you have spirit guides to actually help you. I'm telling y'all, their loved ones who died, whoever you met, their loved one that died, it's just like, couldn't they even believe that their family members were treating you like this? Yeah, so get ready for an amazing career. An amazing career. Some of you all started getting some downloads. Yeah, career. Injustice, because all kinds of injustices were being done to you. Right? And so get ready for a career. Like I said, some of you all may have learned through planting seeds and growing plants and flowers. Right? Growing plants and flowers. So justice is in your favor. A fortune is coming your way because of how you inspire people and because you're a lone wolf. You catch wind of somebody doing some kind of an injustice to people. I'm telling y'all, just like in my readings here, you start shining the light on them, because you already know what your demons are. Your demons could have been insecurity, right? And Source could have said, no, it's no reason for you to feel insecure. This is an energy you would have had their back, but they turned around and stabbed you in the back. Source should say, don't you dare let them back. They overstepped the boundary. Don't you dare let them back in your inner circle. Period. You're not taking phone calls, text messages, emails, nothing from there. I know this is a lengthy reading, and I'm going to label it. Here's how you get your, this is how your reparations came back to you. Yeah. Yeah, somebody's feeling like a major loss right now. Somebody is feeling like something was literally a death. But you remember, you have the memory of an elephant. So, guess what? You're letting them go for what they did. They didn't even have the sense to even realize you were sitting right in their face, showing them what their ancestors had gone through. Everything you had. Something for some of you all was taken away from you. Your marriages were taken away from you. Some of your kids were taken away from you. Some of your jobs were taken away from you, bullied out of job, and they could not even see that's the same exact thing their ancestors went through for them to become who they are today. Because somebody decided, hey, let me give their ancestors a helping hand. I got the inside scoop. I know people are doing this intentionally. They couldn't even see it, but they see it now. So we have sacral chakra cleanse and also heart chakra cleanse. Yeah, this water, get near water, drink your water, do your spiritual bath, spiritual cleansing, all of those things. Get your readings, all of that. But yeah, random acts of kindness. See, you're just doing random acts of kindness. I'm telling y'all, that's how y'all deposited money into the universe bank, and it's coming back to you with interest, right? Sacral chakra, so you're creating with your right brain. Somebody is highly creative. And so things just come to you. Things come to you when you feel like an injustice has been done, or for you, you go right into helping people. It don't no respecter of person. So just to round it out, your 11th house is the energy within the last 11 years that was assigned to you to take you and somebody else up out of here, the person that's closest to your heart. They were assigned to you, right? Right. In other words, they would be enslaved themselves, but they would be like a head slave catcher, right? Doesn't really matter what your race or whatever it is. Every culture has experienced some form of slavery. And somebody in your second house, high vibrational, would have been the one to expose them. Y'all are not related. Just like you're not related to the person that's in the circle that's like a brother or like a sister. Just so we're crystal clear. So there it is. Get them out of your circle altogether. Anybody that looks down on people because they don't have this education, this thing, and this thing, and they want to limit you, they feel like, okay, you're lucky, so okay, well, we can just spread a rumor all around the world that this energy is a part of a sex ring or sex scandal. So it's to say, get them out of your circle altogether. Because they thought you was the bottom of the barrel, and they felt like, okay, well, we'll just toss them at the bottom of the barrel. This energy, they need to be recycled. Just throw them in a recycle bin, right? But instead, what happened is that Source did it to them. Source did it to them. So that is what I have for you. Get ready for, like I said, that wealth exchange has already happened. It's their loss, not yours. I'm telling y'all, a lot of y'all cry because, not because you're sad, because you're sad that Source is removing them from your circle. That Source is removing some energy from your circle. So, yep. That's what I have for you. Bye.